Hi, Tea Society. Welcome back to the Antisocial Planet. Today we are checking out IU's Crayon, Pastel Crayon. I don't know. I'm saying it wrong because I'm not saying it in Korean anyway. But the live version from the fan meetup in 2025, which I'm pretty excited for because, one, love this song. Give me a brass section in any song, I'm going to be happy. But I don't believe I've ever heard a live version of this song because I wasn't listening to K-pop when this album came out, so I missed the promo section of all of that. But really excited to get to hear it, even though it looks like it's not going to be the full thing, which makes me a little sad. But I understand probably logistically trying to get the set list figured out. How do you make it work? So excited regardless. The vocal melodies in this are so good too. Eee! Look how cute she is. What a throwback. No, I'm not gonna question the backpack. I don't know the whole spiel of this. I don't want to interrupt her, but it's such a short clip, but I was just thinking there's a really soft delivery to these vocals, right? It's such a breathy delivery, which obviously is something that she has with the way that she sings anyway, is a like softer tone, but you really have to soften it out for the like instrumentation, at least for this one, because it has such a like soft, feel good, kind of like upbeat, bright feeling to it. It's very like relaxed delivery. So you have to have a soft vocal, but there's a lot of syllables in it that I'm just, again, I don't speak Korean, so I can't go into any nuances of that, but I feel like the melodies of it are like a faster delivery than I would have thought, or at least there's a lot of syllables happening, a lot of lyrical content in it that I just think logistically performing that live while also having a breathy delivery, the breath control of that is something I've never considered just like listening to the song because I'm just like bopping and having a good time. But like in a live setting, suddenly the logistics start to come out to me, but doing a great job. I would expect nothing less of IU, honestly. Really fun to get to hear with the live band too. Little slide there. I mean, like, there's the vocal slides in it, which, I mean, is a great way to get my attention too. Also, totally forgot that we had the whole backpack thing, like a throwback, until I'm, like, seeing the screen in the back. Look, IU has been doing this for so long. I can't remember absolutely everything, okay? And I started listening to K-pop in 2016. My knowledge of some of the stuff earlier on is more of a blur of like obsession rabbit hole than like actually being able to let my brain process through everything. But again, the vocal slide there, even again, the melodies, big like range in terms of a higher part of it, again, softer sound, and then working your way down into some of those like lower parts of her range. There's a lot of dynamics to the way that the vocals are delivered for a fairly chill, fun song, right? This is even just like part of it as opposed to the full performance of it. So it's just something that like I hadn't fully thought of just listening to it because I was just having a fun time. Also, I love getting to hear the like drums mixed in with this one. Live drums just hit differently for me, and I always love getting to hear live versions with a band, specifically for the drums coming in, especially for something like this where, again, it's like a bit of a softer delivery that it's always interesting to see how the drums get mixed in with that. So it's higher up, and then we're down again. See, there's just a lot of range there. And I was also just thinking there with that like higher note that she hit, a lot more closure in her voice, right? Like, again, we have this very breathy, airy delivery to a lot of this. And then gets a really nice closure on hitting that higher note to make sure that it's like really pushed forward and it's not losing its substance, right? I feel like if we get into a bit of our higher range when we're trying to keep that breathiness, it can dissipate, lose the note a little bit. There's too much air happening because you're loosening up or you're tightening up your vocal cords to get that like higher note. But if you're trying to like maintain the breathiness, because your vocal cords are tightening up, they're just like, you're keeping them apart so that you don't get the proper like vibrations on your vocal cords to make that work. Love that we're getting that transition from a lighter sound into the more closure with her vocal cords. Beautiful head voice. Beautiful, like digging into some of her chest voice there, that vocalization. Cute. Love it. Just like a little snippet, which makes me sad because I do really love that song. Again, the like brass section in it and the kind of like fun, bright delivery of it. But I wasn't really thinking of some of the dynamics in the vocals before. I don't think it ever really hit me. It's a little bit different when I'm listening to songs like casually for myself, as opposed to making videos about it. And then I start to think more about like the technicalities behind things a little bit more than when I'm just casually listening to stuff. But I didn't really think about how the vocals, I feel like there's a lot of syllables happening in the vocal melodies, and there's just a lot of range that has to happen, like that one line that ends with a head voice, maybe like falsetto. It's a little bit tricky when you get into like a really breathy kind of sound to differentiate, especially not going back to listen to it, but ending that line with a higher part of her range, and then the next line like descends down into a lower part. So there's so much that's over the span of one line. So there's a lot that's happening in terms of like the movement in the vocals of this song that I never really thought about. But fun little performance from her of Throwback, and no crazy things going on in terms of like set or what's going on the stage. It's just her beautiful voice, and what else do you need, really? Stellar performance. I would expect nothing else from IU of all people. But I was looking at some of the comments on the video, and that might have been the first live version of that. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments of all that, because again, I wasn't around when the album came out, so I don't really know what all the promotion stuff was around it, but it is definitely like a throwback song, and I am a little bit upset that this has reminded me how long ago, what, 2013, 14 when the album came out. I don't like being reminded how long ago that was, because I remember and I was there, and it does make me feel a little bit old. But loved this performance. Again, so much going on with the vocals for a song that like I feel she makes it look so easy. I think that's what gets me, is that the song sounds so laid back and like soft and carefree, and then I think about if I had to sing it, I'm like, there's a lot of range that you have to cover in a really small part of the melody, and there's also so many syllables where you have to be able to hit the sounds properly to get like the enunciation to work. And I'm just thinking, again, maybe part of that's because I don't speak Korean, so it's a little bit more intimidating, but still, I just feel if you had asked me to sing this, I'd be like, sure, until I started to actually practice, and then I'd be like, no, I don't know. I'm like, IU's built different than most of us. But I hope you enjoyed watching that along with me. You can click Let's Plays to go into my previous reactions, or you can subscribe so next time I post an IU reaction. I will see you in the next video. Bye.